and gentlemen, hello and welcome to our English news edition coming to you from Canal Algérie. I'm your host, Maysa Dumas. To the headlines. Intense activities held by the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, on the third day of the state visit to Qatar to consolidate the existing relations between the two countries. The President of the Republic is to take part in the proceedings of the forum bringing together the gas exporting countries hosted by the Qatari capital, Doha. And tension is still running in Morocco, taking to the streets to denounce the harsh social circumstances prevailing in the kingdom. Those were today's headlines. First in our news, on the third day of his visit to Qatar, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, had intense activities during which he met with key figures to consolidate the already existing relations between the two brotherly countries. Manal Ammari gives us the gist of these activities.
The President of the Republic received at his residence in Doha the President of the Qatari Shura Council, Hassan bin Abdullah Al Ghanem, who paid him a courtesy visit. Later on, he also received Sheikh Faisal bin Qasim Al Thani, President of the Board of Directors of the League of Qatari Businessmen, who had this to say at the end of this meeting.
أنا على عدة مواضيع منها إن شاء الله يكون زيارة للجزائر.
We discussed many issues ahead of the eventual holding of the Algerian-Qatar Business Council meeting. This visit will allow us to launch new joint enterprises in various sectors which will benefit Algeria. We thank the President who granted us this opportunity. We hope to go to Algeria as soon as possible to forge new partnerships that serve both countries.
President Tebboune also received Mohammed bin Hamad Touar al-Kuwari, the first Vice President of the Qatar Chamber of Industry and Commerce, as well as Sheikh Faisal bin Thani Al Thani, the Investment President for Africa and Asia, in addition to Khalifa bin Jassim Al Kuwari, the General Director of the Qatari Development Fund. The head of state visited the central building of the Qatar Foundation for Education, Science and Community Development, where he was received by the Vice President of the Board of Directors and the Executive President of the establishment, Sheikha Hind bint Hamad Al Thani, an establishment that has 50 subsidiaries in the field of education, research and social development. The President visited the various services of the establishment where he received explanations on its objectives, activities, organization and subsidiaries, at the end of which he signed the Foundation's Golden Book. Later in the day, the President of the Republic went to the National Library of Qatar, where he visited the various pavilions and listened to a presentation on the books and manuscripts it has at its possession. At the end of his tour, President Tebboune visited the Ash-Shaqab Arab Pure Blood Horse Farm, where he learned about the main breeds bred in this center. On the sidelines of his state visit, a memorandum of understanding for the realization of a feasibility study for the extension of the complex of the Algerian-Qatari Steel Company of Ballara in Jijel was signed in Doha under the supervision of the Energy and Mines Minister Mohammed Arqab and the Qatari Trade and Industry Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Hamad bin Qasim Al Thani. This extension project will double the production capacity of the factory to 4 million tons per year.
The proceedings of the extraordinary ministerial meeting of the Gas Exporting Countries Forum was kicked off on Monday in Doha with the participation of the Energy and Mines Minister Mohammed Arqab. This meeting was devoted to the preparation of the 6th Summit of Heads of State and Government scheduled for today in the Qatari capital and will be attended by the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune. Based on the fraternal relations and the exceptional historical ties that bind Algeria and Qatar, and in response to the invitation of His Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, the President of the Republic Abdelmajid Tebboune paid a visit to the state of Qatar from February 19th to the 21st. The head of state had extensive talks which focused on the relations between the two brotherly countries and the ways and means of strengthening and upgrading them in all areas. The two sides exchanged views on various issues of common regional and international interest. The two sides reiterated their will to work and coordinate their position so as to serve their interests and preserve the security and stability in the region and in the world. They reiterated their desire to promote cooperation relations in all fields, particularly economic, trade, and the gas sector. The National Solidarity Minister, Kauthar Krikou, met on Monday in Qatar with the Qatari Social Development and Family Minister, Mariam bin Ali bin Ahmed bin Nasser Al Misnad. They visited 3 social centers, namely the Childhood Center for People with Mental Disabilities, the Family Counseling Center, and the Safety Center Against Family Abuse. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and National Community Abroad welcomed the launch of the Diplomatic Forum of Solidarity with the Sahrawi People, an initiative scheduled by a number of ambassadors accredited to Algeria, reiterating on the occasion Algeria's support for the Sahrawi cause. The Diplomatic Forum of Solidarity with the Sahrawi People was held on Monday in the presence of the ambassadors of Western Sahara and South Africa. More details with Rania Al-Bahri.
The Diplomatic Forum of Solidarity with the Sahrawi People was installed, an initiative in which 13 ambassadors accredited to Algeria representing different regions of the world took part. This initiative constitutes another step back for Al-Makhzen and its attempts to exclude the Sahrawi file for the proceedings of the joint summit between the African and European Unions, especially after recent decisions of the 35th African Summit, which was in favor of Sahrawis. This initiative was an opportunity to shed light on the latest developments in the region. This forum was an opportunity to assess the situation in Western Sahara and the latest developments. The Sahrawi people have great challenges to face. We thank all participants in this forum, and in particular the Algerian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which is always present to support the Sahrawis. South Africa, which is fully involved in this process, ensures that the support of the Sahrawi people is still going on. The participants in this forum stressed the importance of solidarity with the Sahrawi people, challenges and obstacles they are facing in order to get their right to self-determination in accordance with international legitimacy. The position of the Republic of South Africa is clear, and we continue to support the Sahrawi people. Meanwhile, the head of the Algerian Committee for Solidarity with the Sahrawi people highlighted the role of civil society in supporting the struggle of the Sahrawi people in favor of decolonization of Western Sahara. I reiterate Algeria's support of the Sahrawi people's cause, which is based on international legitimacy and the principles of the glorious revolution. I appreciate the media's role in combating the malicious and provocative Moroccan propaganda. The participants in this forum also called on the United Nations to speed up the process of decolonizing Western Sahara, Africa's last colony.
In Morocco, slogans were chanted to denounce the policy of Al-Makhzen regime and to call for social justice following the serious deterioration of the purchasing power. Rania Al-Bahri once again.
Down with tyranny and corruption that sharply deteriorated the purchasing power in Morocco. These slogans were chanted to denounce the policy of Al-Makhzen regime. Anger spread to more than 40 Moroccan cities at the call of Moroccan Social Front, called on the Moroccan people to participate in force in protest and sit-ins to denounce the growing tyranny, the scandalous high cost of living, as well as the restrictions and repression of public and trade union rights and freedoms. The Organization for the Defense of Human Rights in Morocco reported that the International Day of Social Justice comes at a time when Morocco is experiencing serious regressions, whether in terms of economic, social, environmental, or civil and political rights. The association expressed its support for social movements and their fight for the right to a decent life, criticizing the exploitation of Morocco for COVID-19 pandemic in order to control public spaces. For Moroccans, these protest movements aim to overthrow tyranny and corruption and achieve a society of dignity, freedom, social justice, and effective equality among all.
That was it for our news edition. Thanks for tuning in to our program. Good night.